This is Nadine with the 5 things you need to know. Burning Man, Proud Boy sentenced, astronauts returning, Ukraine, and inflation. Roads out of the Burning Man festival may reopen for the tens of thousands of people trapped for a third day in the Nevada desert after heavy rains covered the grounds with ankle-deep mud too thick to drive on and forced organizers to impose shelter-in-place orders. Roads leading in and out of the Black Rock Desert event were closed, and attendees were told to conserve food, water, and fuel after the flood made it virtually impossible for vehicles to drive on the surface. 4 high-level members of the fascist Proud Boys militia group, all of whom were convicted of multiple felonies, furtherance of ex-President Donald Trump's failed coup, were sentenced to double-digit prison terms by U.S. District Judge Timothy J. Kelly. Kelly sentenced Joseph Biggs, an Army veteran with 2 deployments to Iraq, who then became an FBI informant and InfoWars correspondent, to 17 years in prison, 1 less year than the 18 years handed down against Oath Keepers founder Stewart this past May. That same day, Kelly sentenced Zachary, a former U.S. Marine and grandson of a Philadelphia police officer, to 15 years in prison, half of 30 years sought by prosecutors. 4 astronauts returned to Earth early Monday after a 6-month stay at the International Space Station. Their SpaceX capsule parachutes into the Atlantic off the Florida coast. Returning were NASA astronauts Stephen Bowen and Warren Woody Oberg, washers Andrei Fejev, and the United States Arab Emirates Sultan Al Nayeli, the first person from the Arab world to spend an extended time in orbit. Before departing the space station, they said they were craving hot showers, steaming cups of coffee, and the ocean air since arriving in March. Their homecoming was delayed a day because of poor weather at the splashdown locations, but in the end provided a spectacular middle of the night show as the capsule flown through the sky over Cape Canaveral towards a splashdown near Jacksonville. Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov submitted a letter of resignation on Monday after President Vladimir Zelensky said he would be replaced and named his successor. Oleksiy Reznikov's removal follows a scandal around the Defense Ministry procurement of military jackets. It was not the first similar case during the ongoing war. Zelensky made the announcement on his official Telegram account, writing that no leadership was needed after Reznikov went through more than 550 days of full-scale war. He named Western, a Crimean, Tatar lawmakers as the new defense minister. The Federal Reserve has reached a delicate stage in its fight against inflation. Its policymakers have raised their key interest rate to about 5.4%, its highest level in 22 years, to try to slow borrowing and spending and cool inflation pressures. They now are considering whether to raise the rate even higher, a move that would heighten the risk of a recession, or leave it at its current level for an extended period. And those are your 5 things.